Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another Try a Chapter video. For the previous 2 years, in Try a Chapter videos, I try to evaluate the books that have been on my TBR for a long time and decide if I still want to keep them or not. Today's books all belong to the genre of romance. The books that I will try a chapter of are by the book by Julia Sonneborn, Smoke Screen by Sandra Brown, Menekşe by Mehmet Rauf, Like Nobody's Watching by Frejas, and Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham. The first book that I will try a chapter of is by the book by Julia Sonneborn. I've added this book to my TBR because it is the retelling of one of my favorite books, which is Persuasion by Jane Austen. But to be honest, with the exception of a few, I have not been very successful in liking the retellings of Jane Austen. And since Persuasion is the dearest to my heart, I wanted to try a chapter of the book to decide if I still want to read it or not. So I read the first chapter of by the book by Julia Sonneborn. This book takes place in a university, and our heroine Anne is a university tutor who's trying to deal with the different generation of young people. And one day she receives an email from the faculty that Adam Martinez, ex-fiancé of Anne, will become dean of the English department, which is the faculty that Anne works in. Next book that I will try a chapter of is Smoke Screen by Sandra Brown. I have read quite a number of Sandra Brown books in my early 20s, and I really liked the combination of romance with mystery in them. However, the latest book that I have read by her felt a bit outdated, but it could be just that singular book. That's why I wanted to try the chapter of this book by Sandra Brown. So I listened to the first chapter of Smoke Screen by Sandra Brown. And in this first chapter, Brit wakes up in Jay's bed, but she has no idea how she ended up in his bed, because she does not remember what happened in the previous night. And Jay, her ex-boyfriend, also a police officer, does not wake up, although she makes quite noise. And when she checks on him, she finds out that he is dead. Wanted to try a chapter of Like Nobody's Watching by Frejas. This book has been on my Storytel TBR up until 1 month ago when I made the list. However, when I looked at the application right now, after an update, it looks like this book is not available. And since I was not sure about the book, it looks like that it will be an automatic unhaul from my Goodreads TBR. Now I will try the first chapter of this quite slim book, Menekşe by Mehmet Rauf. Mehmet Rauf is the author who wrote the first emotional Turkish novel. And I had mixed feelings about that first book, but I wanted to give this book a chance because it looks like a more structured book. I read a section of the first chapter of Menekşe by Mehmet Rauf. In this book, we follow Bülent, who's a quite famous author, and she's very joyful one day in the park and thinks about the possible affairs that he could have with different women. But since he's happily married, he wants to be involved in another woman if he is really passionate about her. Last book that I wanted to try a chapter of is a fiction book written by a quite famous actress. Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham. Lauren Graham is quite famous for playing Lorelai Gilmore in Gilmore Girls. And I have heard quite mixed things about this book, so that's why it is featured in this video. I listened to the first chapter of Someday Maybe. And in this first chapter, we follow Fanny. Book opens with a dream scene where she is performing, and because she is very bad, they throw tomatoes at her. And after she wakes up, we meet her two roommates, and Fanny is ready to go to her work. So after trying the chapters of actually 4 books, I've already stated that I will unhaul Like Nobody's Watching by Frejas from my Goodreads TBR, because it is a book that I do not want to get into trouble of finding if it's not available in my app. And I'm definitely decided to unhaul Menekşe by Mehmet Rauf. Although the writing was easier to understand than most of the authors from his time, I really did not like the idea of a married man thinking about a potential girlfriend whom he will have a great romance. I was a bit undecided about Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham at first, because it was really good to hear the voice of Lauren Graham after really enjoying the Gilmore Girls when I first watched it about 3 years ago. So I will also unhaul that book from my Goodreads TBR. Although I wasn't a big fan of the writing style, I've decided to keep by the book by Julia Sonneborn, because it had the potential to be a quite interesting contemporary second chance romance, which is one of my favorite subgenres of romance books. And the book that I liked the most was Smoke Screen by Sandra Brown. I was very much into the mystery of the book. And amnesia and temporary memory loss is one of my favorite tropes in mystery books. And I really liked the writing style of Brown and the engaging tempo of the book. So as a result of this try a chapter video, I've decided to unhaul 3 books from my Goodreads TBR. Please comment down below how you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video and what did you think of them. If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose smoke. Smoke means duman in Turkish, and duman is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.